Superchargers, headlights, and more. With over 122 million parts, eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Stay on your A game with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. See ebaymotors.com.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. Join the six-time World Heavyweight Champion, two-time WWE Hall of Famer, and WWE NXT announcer, Booker T. Booker T. Alongside his right-hand man, the Boat, Brad Gilmore, as they discuss everything from inside the ring to the backstage and beyond. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, want to thank you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. But before we go any further, we got a special guest that's going to be stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. Jaida Parker from NXT, who's definitely on the rise, who's having a meteoric rise as far as I'm concerned. I touted her as being great one day in this bitch, and she will be joining us here in sometime here shortly, guys. So make sure you stick around. If you got any questions for Jaida, make sure you get them in the super chat. Do it now. I do it for you. Brad, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Book. Want to wish a great Memorial Day to everybody out there. I hope you're relaxing and enjoying a day off. And obviously, Memorial Day special to people who have fallen service members in the family. We use this day to honor and reflect on them. I know you had we both had grandfathers in World War II. I come from a military family.
James. Damon James. And my grandfather, like I said, I just wish I could, just like see a slideshow of his life, because all the years, man, he lived to be 102 years old. And he never drove a car.
Really?
Never drove a car his whole life.
Why not?
I don't know. It just never. I guess he got to that point where he's like, I guess I don't need one now. He never drove a car his whole life, man. And I just was wondering, like I said, if I could just see, born in 1889. Wow. I just wish I could go back and actually see, what it was like through his eyes, up close and personal, just once. All the stories, of course, that he used to tell me, I used to listen to when I was a young boy in Louisiana, was definitely riveting. So I just wish I could have, like I say, saw it through his eyes just once.
Yeah, no, I mean, stories because now everyone documents everything. You and I have hours of conversations, thousands of hours of conversations documented just from this show alone. But, people like my grandfather, your grandfather, those stories kind of go with them in a lot of ways. And it would have been great to hear those firsthand accounts of what he experienced, what they experienced, and, especially during the war, World War II.
What's crazy is I know my grandfather, like I say, was born in 1889, and man, it was a hell of a time. That was a hell of a time for a black man. But I don't remember my grandfather being bitter one time. I never remember him recanting any stories from a negative perspective when I was a kid. I don't remember those stories. You know what I mean? I know and the thing is, I know he endured. Going through some tough times. I know he did. But for him not to harbor, any hate or ill will towards anyone was, I think, a lesson for me that I think I learned along the way. Seriously.
I mean, 1889. That's 24 years after the abolition of slavery, right? I mean, so that's how soon thereafter he was born. So yeah, I mean, in 1964, right? 1964 is when the Civil Rights Act was. So I mean, the majority of his life, he was living in a country where he didn't have the similar rights as everybody else. Especially, we've talked about it in the war, right? He was fighting for a country that he didn't even have all equal rights to everybody else in. I mean, it's wild.
Yeah. But what's crazy is also, man, I never saw my grandfather want for anything
Really?
his whole life.
Wow.
He had everything that he could ever want. He had his property, he had his family. He had, seemed like he seemed like he was rich. Living there in Plaindeal in Louisiana, all those years, man. I swear to God, I don't remember I don't remember my grandfather having anger. I'm talking about towards us. I
Right.
mean, as far as other than y'all need to get up earlier. Y'all sleeping too late.
Sleeping
It's
your
it's
life
7 o'clock.
away. Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock. That's what I remember about my grandfather more than anything is we was wasting time, sleeping. But I'm serious, man. I'm serious. That's what I remember about my grandfather named James, man. He's a bad dude, man. Bad dude.
Yeah, so we this is the day that we honor all the fallen soldiers who fought for our freedom. So definitely we thank you all for your service, and we wouldn't be here today without you. So, but Book, I wanted to ask you because we're gonna have Jaida Parker here on shortly. We had AEW Double or Nothing. We had WWE King and Queen of the Ring all to talk about, but we also had Comic Palooza. Did you enjoy your Comic Palooza experience this year?
You know what? I had fun, man. With Last Century Comics, they did a new, drawing, new makeup, perhaps of the third edition that's going to be coming out. And man, I had so much fun actually, just hanging out with the fans. Those are really special moments. I always say sometimes the fans can't come to you; you got to go to them.
Right.
And for me, those moments, just listening to a lot of those stories. Um, the hugs, man. Like this one lady, man, she came up to me, she gave me like the biggest hug. And she was like, I'm so glad you're here. And she didn't know I was gonna be there. She had just found out that I was there. And like I say, stories, man, a lot of the stories I talk about that I don't even remember. And these fans come up to me and they ask me, "Yeah, hey, man, you remember such and such and such and such a day?" That those memories flood back, and I go, "Oh yeah, I remember that now." Uh, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's crazy. It sounds cliche, man, but if it wasn't for the fans, it wouldn't be no us. And those stories for me are literally that that slideshow that we were just talking about. As far as my grandfather, that's that slideshow, being able to talk about it and see it up close and personal for these fans. Who was like this one guy? He came up to me and he said, "Man, I've been with you ever since you was Booker T and Stevie Ray in the Global Wrestling Federation." I had one guy came up to me and goes, "Man, I saw you in your debut match at the Sam Houston Coliseum," and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Stuff
Wow.
like that, man. No, I'm serious. I'm serious, man. And I only had maybe 3 matches at the Sam Houston Coliseum, maybe 3 or 4 matches, maybe before the bottom fell out of the company and everything. But for someone to have been riding with me for as many years that I've been in this business, those are special moments, man. Those are special moments, and those are the times. Those are the things that you feel more than anything when I go to like Comic Cons. So it's a moment that you capture in time, and hopefully you can hold on to it for a very very long time. So I had a great time, man. I had a great time. I want to thank everybody who came up to my table, which there again a lot of people didn't even know I was going to be there. I want to thank Last Century for and Travis for let me be a part of their crew because that was their thing more than anything. But I had a great time, man. Great time.
And you had primo booth location, by the way. They really took care of the Last Century booth. It was in that main hallway right when you walked through the door. If you had to go to it was in a good spot. You know what I mean? It's all about the spot.
Yeah,
I've learned over the years it's all about the spot, right? Like in the convention.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
people say. Like you need a good
And
spot.
it felt different. It felt different being at a convention in Houston too.
Why?
Not used to that.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's home. You know what I mean? And everybody in Houston seemed like they already got autographs. picture of Booker T anyway from somewhere. They see me out and about in town. You know what I mean? So I feel like, uh, everybody here in Houston is like family, you know? And it seems like I've already met them already. It's one of those type of deals. A lot of people that came up to my table, I had met already, which was really, really cool. They still just want to take a picture with me. They just want to get something, signed, with G.I. and Bro, So it was actually really, really cool. Cool moment.
I will also say when I was walking the con floor, a lot of love for the Hall of Fame from the people. I don't know if anybody was talking to you about it, but I got a lot of love for the Hall of Fame when I was out there. I took a few photos and talked to the people.
I'm gonna tell you, I never really think about it until we're in that kind of situation. Like we're out in Vegas. We're just around an abundance of people, and somebody go, "Hey, Brad, is that Brad Gilmore?" What the hell are they talking about? You know what I mean? So so no, man. Can I get a picture with Brad? It's that type of stuff. No, it lets me know that everything that we're doing, man, is solid, and the fans are loving what we're doing more than anything. Because this show right here, man, the Hall of Fame, Brad, it's all about what?
The people.
The people. It's all about the people. Giving the people what they want
right.
On a regular basis, man. I'm talking about, that's what it's all about here, man. We don't have any egos or anything like that. We ain't trying to, do anything but entertain our guys, as well as bring you guys some knowledge at the same time, give you guys the news breaking in real time, hopefully, like this. We definitely got to talk about the king and the queen of the ring tournament. We definitely got to talk about the winners. Before we even go to a break, I want to say congratulations to Nia Jax. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Sucker! And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com and use promo code and receive your first month absolutely free, man. Visit BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it.
Hey there, beach babes and beach bros. Are you ready to soak up the summer vibes and strut out with your ultimate beach bod? Well, good news, because our friends over at Manscaped have got you covered from head to toe.
Oh, yeah, Brad. We're talking about the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one grooming kit that's a total game changer for your summer look, man. With Manscaped, you're not just grooming, you're unlocking confidence you need to turn heads this beach season. Oh, yes.
That's right, Booker. And we're talking 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And because you're listening to us, you get a special deal. 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Man, let me tell you about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This bad boy got a summer makeover. It's waterproof, perfect for those splashy pool parties and beach hangouts. And don't get me started with the Weed Whacker 2.0 for those pesky nose and ear hairs.
Oh, and after you trim, you've got to try the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion. Say goodbye to chafing and hello to comfort all day long. Plus, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, absolute must-have for those hot, sunny days.
Hey, and don't forget, every purchase come with a little extra free Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo. Talk about comfort and style that fits like a dream. You're gonna love it, I guarantee.
So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Booker.
Yeah, the summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped and keep you looking and feeling cool.
Jump on this deal, y'all, and stay groomed this summer with Manscaped. Your beach bod deserves the best.
Can you dig it? Houston, get ready to rumble with the Hall of Fame on ESPN Radio.
That's right, Booker. We're bringing the heat Tuesday through Friday right here on the Houston airwaves on 97.5 and 92.5.
We've got the exclusive scoop on wrestling, boxing, and everything in between.
Join us for the smackdown of sports talk and don't miss a moment of the action.
The Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that? Sucker! Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Hey, you know what? Is our special guest in the house yet?
Not just yet. Not just yet.
I have our special guest.
No, not just yet. But they'll be here, I'm sure, in a moment. I know we want to talk about King and Queen of the Ring, a little bit of Double or Nothing. There's some UFC stuff that we could probably cover as well. But I wanted.
Well, I tell you what. Just go ahead and just keep talking. I got to send a text here real quick.
Okay. Well, I want to just say that I love when people are in the chat. I love that people respond to our sponsors, right? I mean, because, without the sponsors, this show wouldn't be coming to y'all live and in living color every single week here on YouTube, 102.5 The Game, ESPN 97.5 Podcast Heat, the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel, of course, all the socials. But I want to say this. We have somebody in the chat who loves the ad that we do for Blue Chew. And then they say they want to follow up with it, and they say, I'm going to take a Blue Chew at Reality of Wrestling. I'm not going to advise that. That's not a good idea. Maybe when you get home after Reality of Wrestling, when you're charged up from all the action that you saw. But don't take it at Reality of Wrestling. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of a strange, that's a strange comment.
Yeah, you might not want to do that.
That's a strange comment, man. You better stay seated the whole night.
One thing about the Blue Chew, man, I can tell you this. It works. I'm dead serious, man. The Blue Chew does work, man. So you don't want to try that at a Reality of Wrestling show or anything like that, because you might hit the ring. I'm serious. You might hit the ring, or we might have to call a doctor or something, because once you get that right there, bro, especially if you have it more than 3 or 4 hours, so you. If you take it early, that's what's gonna happen. So trust me, man.
I don't know if it was a Cat Williams bit. I can't remember who had it. Some comic said, like, when they talk about the side effects, if you've had such and such lasting 3 or 4 hours, seek a doctor or call a doctor. Yeah. He was like, I'm not gonna call a doctor. I'm gonna call God and thank him for the miracle. What is something like, what I'm talking about, right? Oh, that's what I remember.
What I heard was, I'm not gonna call a doctor. I'm gonna call every hooker I can find.
Maybe that's what it was. It's terrible.
Oh my God, man! But no, man. Shout out to Blue Chew.
Shout out to Blue Chew. We appreciate y'all. But you said that you definitely had comments on Nia Jax and Gunther, who or both the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring. You gave props to Nia there. Nia was on the show here recently. And one thing I want to say, I'm so happy for Nia Jax, and I think that's the right call for Queen of the Ring. Shout out to Laura Valkyria, who they kind of made in this tournament on the main roster, in my opinion. But the reason why I thought Nia was a great pick, because when Nia came back, you know, you felt a certain energy behind her, and like they're really getting behind her. And then I'll be honest with you, personally, I was like a little bit disappointed that she wasn't factored into the WrestleMania card in any way. Now, I know not everybody can get on the show. I understand that, trust me. But I just felt like she had done so much in that return that we would see her in a big match situation or involved in some kind of way at WrestleMania 40. And I'm sure she was disappointed not being on the card. I'm sure everybody is if they're not on WrestleMania. And I was too as a fan. Then to see her in the Queen of the Ring tournament, I didn't think they were going to earmark her to win this tournament initially. But after the Jade Cargill match, I said, man, if there's ever a time to really pull the trigger for Nia Jax and put her in something meaningful, this is the moment to do it. And I was really thrilled seeing her go out and get it. I actually still didn't think she was going to win it. I think we both picked Laura Valkyria last week as who we thought might win. But for Nia to go out there and do it, I thought that was the right call to make. And when you think about her dominance and her character and what all that means for her to be the Queen of the Ring and now to go out and be able to get a world title match at SummerSlam, I really love Nia as the Queen.
I think it's only fitting to actually finally pull the trigger on Nia Jax. I mean, come on. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for quite some time. I've been saying it for a long time. If Nia Jax gets the championship around her waist, it's going to take an act of God to get the championship off of her, because I feel like she could be so dominant in that position. But this role actually is something that's going to give Nia Jax a chance to actually sink her teeth into something a little bit different. A role, playing a role, going out there and creating at the same time. Seeing exactly how far she could take that role. That's what I like about this setup right here for Nia Jax, as well as it puts a spotlight on Nia Jax on a weekly basis when she walks out of that curtain. And what I talk about all the time, time on camera, that TV time is worth its weight in gold. She's gonna have a whole lot of that to play with right now. So, as well as it was definitely a time for me when I got that role to actually go out and do something different than I was actually doing on the card, which was just going out and performing, working in the ring. Now, there again, the character building side of Nia Jax. What are we going to see out of this Queen of the Ring? I cannot wait, as well as Gunther. Let's talk about Gunther for a second. He's tailor-made for this role. He really is. If anybody going into this King of the Ring tournament you thought would come out on top and would have a really, really good chance at being a really, really great king, I think you would think of Gunther having the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship run of all times, surpassing, one honky tonk man. Got to still represent the honky tonk man. So long.
He's
But
cool,
now,
he's cocky, he's bad. You got to love the honky tonk man.
but now Gunther is definitely a guy who could live up to that kingly role. And we was talking about it off the air. Of course, everybody's going to be looking for a grade from King Booker. How one is doing playing that role. So me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how Gunther plays this role. One thing I like about Gunther being in this role, just like he played the role of Intercontinental Champion, as far as being the greatest, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, he can go out and he can hold that mantle, such as I did. He can go out and he can rule with an iron fist. He's a guy that's gonna, take no prisoners. He's a guy that's gonna really, I think the moniker of King on Gunther, King Gunther. Just think about that, King Gunther.
Sounds good.
That has a certain ring to it. I could be wrong, but I always talk about the names and championships. You got to have a championship name in order to be champion. You got to have a kingly name in order to be king. King Gunther. Tell me, how did that sound?
Well, it sounds great. And I think that What he did with the Intercontinental Championship is, although there has been great champions, IC champions in the last several years, I got to give a shout out to Miz. I think Miz did a lot for that title when he was running with it. But I think Gunther, I almost re-legitimized the title, in my opinion.
He brought prestige.
He brought prestige back to the IC title.
You know what? I knew you was going there. I knew exactly where you were going.
And I'm hoping that he does the same for the King of the Ring tournament, because the prestige, as we talked about on this show, hasn't been there since you won it. You know, and I know I use the term, did you kill the King of the Ring? But I actually stand on that. Like, no one, and it's no disrespect to anybody, but no one's done it at the level that you did it since you did it. And Gunther, if there's anybody who can bring the prominence and the prestige, to use your word, back to the King of the Ring crown, it's Gunther. He can do it in the ring. He's really turned into a great promo too. Gunther has. He's believable.
He's believable. It's crazy how we stepping on each other. No, he is believable. He's very, very believable as far as going out there and making wrestling feel like it felt when I was a kid watching it. When I watched those guys down at the Sam Houston Coliseum, you know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase. And before Hacksaw Jim Duggan was the guy you just, saw walking around with a 2x4 board, 2x4 board. He was a badass. Guys like Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Man, those guys used to bring it and make me feel like this thing, even though I knew what wrestling was. I knew exactly what it was. I knew it was entertainment, but those guys made me feel a certain way, just like those movies that I watched. Gunther is that same guy. He's that same character. And the thing is, if you see him in the ring, you believe him. And if you see him at the bar, you believe that dude as well. They're one and the same. You do not want to cross that dude. He's that believable in and out of the ring all the time. That's Gunther. Give him props, man. He is now your new king of the ring, as well as Nia Jax. Bow down to your queen, you peasants. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Have you heard about the mobile game called Modern Mania Wrestling GM? It's a pro wrestling general manager game for your tablet or your phone. It's a really, really hidden gem, guys. Great looking characters, sleek interface, easy to play in short bursts or long sessions. Simple premise. Collect cards for wrestlers. Match type, venue, skits. Use these cards to book wrestling shows. The better shows you book, the more in-game cash you'll earn to collect more cards. Team up with the right wrestlers and you will unlock their tag team card. Now, match wrestlers against each other and you'll unlock their feud card. How cool is that? Manage your roster, create factions, compete with or control other promotions inside the game's universe. Honestly, guys, it's a lot of fun. It's free to play. Developers are constantly updating the game with new characters and features. To get into the game, search Modern Mania Wrestling GM in the App Store or Google Play Store. Now, once you play through the tutorial, head to settings screen. And on the bottom right, you'll see the code button, man. Use that code and enter the promo code HEAT, and you'll get a bunch of free wrestlers and game cash. Wrestling fans, do yourself a favor and check this game out. Modern Mania Wrestling GM.
Hey everybody, Brad Gilmore here with the one and only Booker T, and today we're not just talking about wrestling, we're talking about something that's changed the game for both of us personally, and that's Mando whole body deodorant.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. You know, the most valuable thing in the world could be that #1 draft pick or home field advantage throughout the playoffs, but you know what? Second time.
Absolutely, Book, and let me tell you, managing body odor, that used to eat up a lot of time. Always worrying about it, especially around midday, but not anymore since we started using Mando.
Yeah, but tell him why, Brad.
Well, Mando isn't like those other deodorants that just mask the odor with heavy fragrances. Mando stops odor at the source. It blocks bacteria on your skin from breaking down sweat, which, by the way, is what really causes that BO.
And it's clinically proven to control that odor for up to 72 hours. Now that's long lasting, man.
It really frees up so much time since switching to Mando. I've even perfected my half-court shot, believe it or not.
Man, that's awesome. And let me add, I've been using Mando everywhere. Pits, grundles, and even those stinky crevices. We all got it's aluminum-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Designed by a doctor who knew what was up about body odor, man.
And for our listeners, we got something special. New customers can get $5 off the Mando starter pack. That's over 40% off. Just use our code BOOKER at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com.
Use shopmando.com. Check out their starter pack. Brad and I would not steer you wrong.
With Mando, you're really taking care of your body odor anywhere and everywhere. Give it a try and let us know what you think.
All right, now back to wrestling. But remember, control your body odor anywhere, anytime with Mando, and save big with the promo code Booker at shopmando.com. Hey, what's up, Nashville? It's your man, Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Wake up, man, and get in the ring with the Hall of Fame.
Every Saturday morning, book at 8 a.m. We're coming to you live on 102.5 The Game, Nashville's home for sports talk. We've got the knockout conversations, the legends, and all the sports insight that you crave.
So check out Booker T and Brad Gilmore every Saturday morning on 102.5 The Game. Now, can you dig it? Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We're just talking a little bit of King of the Ring action going down. I want to talk about Battleground, but I want to wait till Jaida Parker get inside the Hall of Fame before we actually talk about that. I cannot wait to get to Las Vegas coming up just next week, guys. Going down in the Apex for the first time. My first time ever getting a chance to get in that UFC Apex. Can't wait to see exactly how the WWE put its spin on it, put its flavor on it. I'm sure it's going to have that NXT vibe with I'm talking about LED lights. I'm talking about cameras. I'm talking everything. When I say everything, I'm talking about everything. We spare no expense when it comes to that. So me personally, there again, cannot wait.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that with Jaida Parker, of course, Battleground. She's in that hunt for the NXT Women's North American Championship, as you pointed out. The other couple other things, though. Why don't we talk about Liv Morgan? Liv Morgan went out and won the Women's World Championship from Becky Lynch at King and Queen of the Ring. We talked about how Rhea Ripley, when she went down with an injury, Becky won the Battle Royal, kind of stepped up, took that position when it seemed like they needed somebody to fill that role. But Liv Morgan has had, I think, whatever reason it might be, she's had a groundswell of support behind her these last several years. People wanting to see Liv in an important position. Now, she went and cashed in on Ronda, I think, a couple years back at Money in the Bank. But since that, they've wanted her to be in the mix. And now she's the Women's World Champion. What is your assessment of Liv Morgan as the champ?
Well, I mean, unexpected.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see it coming or anything like that. But one thing about Liv Morgan, she's like a utility player. She's always ready. She's always putting herself in position to go out and win. You could tell Liv Morgan believes in herself every time she comes out of that curtain. You could tell, when she left and then came back, you could tell it was a different Liv Morgan as well.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm serious. I spot like those little bitty things. And Liv, one thing about it, this business, sometimes you don't win just because you're the best worker or anything like that. Sometimes you win by attrition. All right. All the dominoes might fall and you might be the only domino still left standing. I'm serious. And I say that because I've been in that position as a Liv Morgan, not being the one that was chosen to actually be the champion, but always seem to have found my way to have championship gold around my way somehow, when not being the chosen one. That's Liv Morgan. She's not the chosen one, but she put herself in position to be champion by just pure hard work alone. That's it. That's it. The stuff she do behind the scenes is the reason why she's there right now. Seriously.
That's really an interesting assessment because you're right. I don't think if you lined up the women's roster, and I'm not sliding her at all, but if you lined up the women's roster, it's not like Liv Morgan's your obvious pick. You know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at all.
Like, oh, let's give her the ball and let her run with it. But you're right. She's always there. She's always consistent. She always brings her A game. And winning by attrition is so interesting. So you feel like you never were earmarked to be the guy.
No, I mean, not. I mean, well, let's just say this: in the beginning, just say for instance, when I won the television championship, the only reason I won it because Rick Martel didn't bring his boots and didn't bring his gear. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they said we got to get the title off Disco Inferno tonight. We'll end up putting it on, Rick Martel in a few weeks, but we're going to put it on you tonight. So I wasn't chosen, to be the champion, on that night. Even, when I won the world title, a lot of people, well, it was perhaps one person in the room, Vince Russo, saying, let's pull the trigger, but a lot of people in the room were saying, I don't know, I don't know if we're ready for that, so winning by attrition, I had somebody in my corner, I was good enough, but winning by attrition, sometimes guys get hurt. And my name move up the list. Just say, for instance, when the Radicals left WCW, my name moved up the list. You know what I mean? So I do that. I understood that. And sometimes that's just the way it happens for certain people. And is it right? Come on. Is it fair? Come on. That's not the way life works.
Bottom line. And so Liv, and I don't know if they had plans for Liv and Rhea because they kind of seemed like they were working an angle together. But Rhea goes down, they give the ball to Becky, and then pretty much immediately, because it's only been, 2 months since WrestleMania? So they essentially throw it right over to Liv with their short little run there that Becky had. I think they had big plans for her. And what's interesting about the women's world champion and the world heavyweight champion being Damian Priest, I don't think that you're right. Those were either one of the obvious picks. But it's people who, Damian Priest, I read somewhere, has had more televised matches in the last 2 years than anybody on the roster, something like that. More matches overall than anybody on the roster, more times on pay-per-view. And I probably think it's a similar thing where the company's like, we can trust this guy. He shows up. He always does his role. He elevates what he's given. He doesn't miss a show. Let's give him the ball. Do you think that's right? Do you think I'm right in that? And the Judgment Day, obviously, got over.
I think you're 100% right. Damian Priest wasn't the guy that was touted to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think he was the guy. I think one day, I think they saw Damian Priest as that. But I think Damian, when they put him in Judgment Day, he grew at an enormous rate. He really did. He literally transformed over that time when first put in the Judgment Day all the way up to now, becoming the world champion. I could see the growth in Damian Priest, and there again, is he a guy that that's just say for instance, extraordinary, prolific? No, he's not. That's not Damian Priest. But is he a guy that what you just said a second ago that I can trust? That's going to show up. He's going to be there every time. I don't have to worry about him showing up drunk or high or missing a flight or any of that. Is he going to be able to go out and perform? And is he going to be able to go out and perform each and every night at the highest level? Yeah, that's what the business is going to be looking for in a champion. People talk about John Cena.
I was just about to make that connection. Yeah,
Well, go ahead. I'm going to let you make it.
I was just, as you were listing off those attributes of Damian Priest, like I was thinking, almost as if you were describing John Cena. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I was describing John Cena. I really was, and I was going to get to that point. as well. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't look at it that way. A lot of people may not see exactly what I mean or understand it. But I understand when I see someone like Damian Priest rise to this point to where he is right now. He deserves it. He earned it. He really did. And when you're in this business, when I hear people say earning something in this business, it's hard for me to take that. because mostly everything in this business is given to you. You know what I mean? But when you earn the respect of the company to be the guy to go out and represent as the world champion for this company, that means you've earned it. Damian Priest, he's definitely earned this spot, and big props to him. And I told him he was going to get there. I told him he was going to get there. Every time I tell somebody that, it happens.
I remember there's a clip, I think, of you talking to Big E.
Yeah, it's a clip. It's talking to Big E. I
Like,
told him, hey,
coming
bro.
up.
I said, your time's coming. I said, your time's coming. I said, cream rise to the top. Cream rise. A year later, boom,
Champion.
you're the world champion.
Let me
You know
ask
what I mean?
Let me ask you this, because to go real back to the winners of King and Queen of the Ring, Nia and Gunther, now they get a World Heavyweight title match at SummerSlam. I think that they would probably have to go with their brand. So if that is the case, you have Nia going for the Women's Championship, which is Bayley currently, and you have Gunther going for the World Championship with Damian Priest currently, if that's how it shakes out. Do you feel like we see two new champions at SummerSlam if those are the matches we get?
Man,
It's tough,
I hate
huh?
booking. I hate booking the show, but it's a high probability. Let's say that high probability of two new champions, because Gunther is literally right there on the cusp of becoming world champion, and anybody can see Gunther in that position and believe it. Nia, she has definitely been working her way to getting to that spot. It hadn't been the traditional way like all the other girls on the roster or anything like that. But Nia's true, man. She's true. She's true as far as being a soldier in this game and weathering the storm to get to this spot. Because Nia wasn't even in the company not that long ago. She had left.
Yeah.
She had put this behind her, and now to resurrect the whole thing, um, try to go back and do it all over again. Big ups for Nia Jax, and I'm saying that because I really like Nia Jax. She's good people, and she deserves everything she get as well.
Well, hey, Book, we got to take a break here real quick.
Yeah, man. Guys, you are inside the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Booker T here alongside Brad Gilmore on the Hall of Fame podcast. Man, the NBA playoffs are rolling, and I'm pumped up about the matchups we're seeing. Imagine sitting courtside, feeling that playoff intensity up close.
Absolutely, Book. And you know, with Game Time, getting there to witness the action live is easier than ever, which means snagging playoff tickets is just a few taps away.
That's right, Brad. And here's the cool part. Prices on the Game Time app actually drop closer it gets to tip off. You heard me. Plus those killer last minute deals, all in prices and seat views right from the app. Game Time really takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets.
And let's not forget their lowest price guarantee, or as you say, their lowest price G guarantee. If you find a better price, Game Time will hit you back with 110% of the difference. That's confidence right there, BT.
And let me tell you, seeing the view from my seat on my phone before buying it is a game changer, dog.
Can't beat that, BT. Plus, with no surprise fees at checkout, what you see is what you pay. And for anyone worried about the what ifs of life, Game Time has got your back with event cancellation protection, job loss protection, and more.
So here's what you got to do. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Booker for $20 off your first purchase. That's right, $20 off. See your favorite NBA team light up the playoffs. Just spell out Booker when you sign up. Terms apply.
Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Download Game Time today and take the stress out of your playoff experience. Remember, that's gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Get in the game with Game Time. You're going to love it as much as we do. All right, y'all, back to the Hall of Fame. Oh, yes.
Let's read it here. Hey everybody, this is Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame. As a host of this show and a creator, I know how busy life can get. That's why I'm excited that we have HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, back with us on the show. With HelloFresh, you can ditch the meal planning woes and dive into their biggest menu yet, featuring over 45 recipes and even more market items to choose from every single week. Trust me, it makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. One of my favorite things about HelloFresh is their ready in 20-minute recipes. You can make restaurant quality meals at home without the high cost of takeout and have them on the table in just 20 minutes. That's even quicker than delivery from your favorite delivery app. So as somebody who's always on the go, I can tell you personally, HelloFresh has saved me so much time. I don't have to think about what I'm going to make for dinner that night. I don't have to go to the grocery store and buy all the ingredients. They're delivered right to my door. I just love that convenience of having those fresh, pre-proportioned ingredients. It makes cooking not a necessity, but I really have fun to it. I never cooked before HelloFresh, and now I'm telling the missus, hey, sit on the couch. Let me take over. I love following the instructions and making that food look like just it does in the photograph. And plus, their fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping me on track with delicious meals under 650 calories per serving. So if you're trying to get that summer body in order, HelloFresh has got you covered. So why wait? Go to HelloFresh.com/BookerSuite for free dessert for life. One dessert item per box while your subscription is active. That's free dessert for life at HelloFresh.com/BookerSuite. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Okay, so make your life easier, make your life healthier, make your life more delicious today, and go to HelloFresh.com/BookerSuite for free dessert for life. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/BookerSuite for free dessert for life, so long as your subscription is active. But now back to the Hall of Fame.
Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, and we're still waiting on Jaida Parker to step inside the Hall of Fame so she can get, champagne wishes, caviar dreams, all that, man. Is she with us yet, Brad? Is she with us?
Not just yet, but I will let you know.
Yet.
I will alert you as soon as she joins. It's live, pal.
Parker, man. We got Battleground coming up June 9th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Apex. And can't wait to get there. We got some big matches going down. And one of the big matches is going to be for the women's North American championship, a first in our business, a women's North American championship. I've been a big fan of the North American championship going back to uh, Houston Wrestling now, because Junkyard Dog, he was the North American heavyweight champion. And that's when I really, sparked me, and being a guy who perhaps could be the next JYD. But so definitely, Jada just texted me and she said, "What to do? Oh man, okay, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to text her this link. Okay, we're gonna text her the link
Okay.
just to make sure she get it. So, but we're gonna get Jada Parker inside the Hall of Fame before the day is over. I promise you that. I promise you that, because we're gonna talk about you know her rise, and as far as where she's gonna go in this business. Do she think she's gonna have a legendary career? Do she think it's gonna be one of those Hall of Fame careers? We got to talk about it, and we got to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So, guys, do not. Don't think we're gonna let you down on that. We're gonna bring Jada in. I know right now the internet is going crazy because of Jada Parker. I don't know what it is. But we're gonna find out.
All right. Well, yeah, while we wait on Jada, we do have a couple super chats if you want to go ahead and get to some of those.
Yeah.
And then I got to ask you a few other things. But let's go to, we were just talking to this, Marcus Craig.
Yeah.
Marcus Craig said, Book, so glad they're giving Liv another run. We just finished talking about Liv Morgan winning the Women's World Championship. Let's see what she does with it. Let's see how the run goes. It's one thing to win the championship. It's another to defend it and run with it. And I'm excited to see if Liv Morgan, or what Liv Morgan's going to bring to this world title run. Anything more to add on Liv?
Nah, man. Like I say, Liv Morgan, she's in prime position right now. It's one thing about chasing, but when you got it, it's a totally different story. So let's see exactly what Liv Morgan brings to the table. One thing people are going to be looking for Liv is for a quality of matches. They're not going to be looking for backstage promos or anything like that. It's going to be what Liv do inside the middle of the square circle is what's going to catapult her to the next level, as far as giving the fans what they want to see. That's my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I really think Liv Morgan going to have to deliver when she steps into that square circle.
All right, well, we'll get to more super chats here in a moment because I believe our special guest has joined us, BT.
I did it.
You did it.
I figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen, stepping inside the Hall of Fame to get a little bit of champagne wishes. All the caviar dreams, man. This is the one, Jaida Parker.
Hey,
What's going on, girl?
how are you?
I'm doing real good now since we got you inside the Hall of Fame to get a little champagne wishes,
Thank you.
little caviar dreams. What is it? What's life like for you right now? How you feel?
I feel great right now. I can't complain about it. I cannot complain where I'm going and where I am. I cannot complain. I'm blessed. Thank you.
We know where you're going. You're going to Battleground.
Yes, sir.
Catch up next Sunday on June 9th in the Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. I know you can't wait for that. But before we get there, let's talk about the Jaida Parker, the kid. Growing up. For me, when I was a kid, I never imagined or dreamt in a million years that I would be a professional wrestler. But I used to watch it on television all the time. I wear the ring of Paul Bosch, the guy who promoted wrestling here in Houston for many, many years. And like I said, never in a million years thought I would be one of those guys, just because it was rough. As a kid, was you around the house, with the granddad watching wrestling, or was that just something that just came up out of the blue for you?
When I was younger with my brother, we used to watch it all the time. My grandfather got into it with us. So I knew what an RKO was before I even got into the business because of my brother, thankful to him. But growing up, I really never watched it like you guys did. I grew up watching soccer, like football. This just gave me the opportunity to be a kid again, and I took it.
Yeah. I tell you, same here. I was like that kid in the neighborhood, and all of my boys, they wanted to, I don't know, go to the corner store and get a 40. You know what I mean? And we all chip in, and then I was like, man, I'm tired of this, man. I need something in my life, and I started sneaking to the other side of town, and I started wrestling with all the white guys. No, no, the thing is, none of my black friends knew this. And then when they found out, they was like, man, you crazy. Why you doing that, man? What are you doing that stupid stuff for? And I was like, man, y'all doing this crazy. For me, it was an outlet. It was something that made me feel like I could do anything. Getting into professional wrestling, how difficult was it, or was it an easy transition for you?
It was a very easy transition. Like there was no transition into it because physicality wise, like I'm used to it. I grew up, came out swinging. So, and I had to thank my brother for that. So coming into like physicality wise, there was no transition. It was just like, all right, like what's the next thing we got to do? So it was that part was easy for me. The mental aspect, it gets everybody, but it helped me become who I need to be to get where I need to be, if that makes sense.
I watch you perform, and some of your movements, it doesn't seem like it could be taught or anything like that. It just seems like it's just natural movements. Of course, we all get taught, the way of the wrestling game. I don't want to give away any secrets or anything like that. But for me, when I got into wrestling, it was like deja vu. It seemed like I had been there before. It seemed like I had did it before. Did you have any of that inkling, or that feeling, or it was something that
Mhm.
you felt like you was gonna have to put some work into?
So I never told anybody this before. I felt like that entrance, like I've been there before. I just didn't know where it was. I thought it was gonna be like a soccer field, but when I came through that entrance, I was like, oh, I've been here before. I just gotta realize like what it took for me to get here and what I need to do to get where I need to be. And that part, I was like, okay, that's that deja vu moment. When I got in the ring, I'm like, oh, this is real. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like that little entrance, I'm like, okay, I'm not used to having people like eyes on me. I'm used to being with the team. But now
Yeah.
it's like me and OTM, and I'm like, okay, now when I'm in this little square circle right now, it's just me and you. And that's what I had to get used to. And I'm like, okay, we got it from here.
So,
Go ahead, Brad.
no, I wanted to know because we're talking about you already being the WWE, but how did you get there? Like, how did that whole process happen? How did you end up on the radar?
So they actually reached out to me my senior year of college, or like my 5th year of college. And at the time they were DMing people. So I went to my manager. I'm like, is this real? You know what I'm saying? Because, scammers out there and everything, you could be a profile with anybody. And I got the email, got the DM, I had the meeting. And I'm like, oh, they really want me. So I'm like, okay. I asked them if I could do my draft first for soccer. And by God's grace, it didn't go my way. It came and it brought me to the WWE, and I took every opportunity I had with it and I ran with it. And now I'm with y'all.
Wow,
It's crazy. That's a
that's what's
different
crazy
path,
is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's crazy is so many people trying to get into the business today.
Mhm.
So many of looking at professional wrestling as perhaps just their way out. Not really thinking about how much work they're really going to have to put in this to be great, to become a legend, to become a Hall of Famer. The grind of it. I don't know how many people have told you about the grind. Of professional wrestling. There are no days off. It's about you know um, you know no days off. You know what I mean, in the business. Are you prepared for that part? Because I know in the bubble in NXT, it's great. You're coming to work, you once a week, but I know you guys are training like crazy down there. They're
Yeah.
giving you guys almost like a pre vision of what it's going to really look like. When you guys are out there, are you 100% ready and committed for that grind?
I gotta be. Because if not, I won't be Jada Parker. Like Jada Parker is the grind. You know what I'm saying? I had to do that my whole life. To me, there's no such thing as luck when I had to hustle and grind to get where I need to be my whole life. So having this hustle and grind in front of me is nothing but adding more fuel to the fire.
Is
From
is
point of view.
I tell you, you're a good looking girl, all right, but you like no that's true, but you seem like you got a lot of rough edges around you, and I say that when you get in the ring.
Mhm.
Uh, I always talk to my students about, man, you got to lay it in.
Yeah.
With you, you don't have no problem doing that. Uh, were you a kid that came up that got into a lot of fights, or were you that, Barbie doll type girl?
Uh, I was not a Barbie type of girl. I grew up like if we getting hit, we going 100% in. Yeah, I was like a little grass type of girl, but when it came, because I grew up with boys, my brother always brought like his football team home. So it's like if we getting hit, you better go 100%. Like they didn't take it easy on me. So now when I'm in the ring, like my motto is you bleed like I bleed. So what I gotta be scared of?
Gotta whack somebody. Guys, stick around. Look here, we got Jaida Parker. We gotta take a quick break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a sec. Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. We got Jaida Parker here inside the Hall of Fame, getting a little champagne, wishes, caviar dreams. I know the super chatters, you guys may have a few questions for Jaida, so make sure you get them in and get them in quick. But how've life changed for you since becoming a WWE superstar?
It's been
I mean,
different.
because before you even answer that question,
Yes.
Brad's been hanging around me for a few years, right? And now Brad goes places and he's like a big star. People want autographs. People want to take pictures with him. You know what I mean? Asking him to come to bar mitzvahs, all kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Not bar mitzvahs, man. I'm not doing bar mitzvahs. No disrespect.
The price is right. You would do it. But now, how have life changed for you?
It's changed for the better. I would just say it's like a catch-22 because I don't realize how like open my life is now. Like with social media now, there's no like such privacy until I set the boundary, but it's changed in the best way possible. Like I'm getting my name out there and I just want to change my life for the better. But I didn't realize it until someone else pointed out to me, like after Vengeance Day, my family's not used to people staring at us. You know what I'm saying? So they have to get kind of used to that. And my dad's like, "Yo, you good? You want me?" I was like, "It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's part of the process." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he's like, "It's gonna get worse." My dad's like, "Just let me know if you need a bodyguard. Like, let me know." And I'm like, "Nah." So that's the part that's like changed. But other than that, I love the fans. I love the kids. It's
That's
changed.
my daughter. That's my daughter. No photos. I swear, she was like that for so long. With people, no photos.
Now, Jaida, I first saw you, and I don't know if this was your NXT debut. I think it might have been for the NXT Breakout Tournament. I think Jakara Jackson went down, and the next thing you know, Jaida Parker's on the television screen. How did that all come about for you? Were you kind of, I don't know, expecting that, or when you got the call, how'd you feel?
When I got the call, it was very emotional because at the time I had lost family members back to back. And I tell people every day, you can't tell me God ain't real because I did not expect that phone call to happen and come through and be like, "Hey, by the way, like you're gonna be in the tournament." And I broke down and I was like, that was not like it was one of the best feelings of my life because it felt like I'm doing something right and I'm doing something right and I'm going down the same path and I'm doing it with God by my side. And that was one of the best feelings of my life on top of the debut. And I'm just like, I'm here for a reason. And that just declared it for me.
Did you have the nerves and the butterflies going through your stomach right beforehand?
Oh yeah, but it was a different type of nerves. Like I used to get nervous for soccer games and sometimes, but that adding cameras into it and like people that close, it's a different type of nerves and butterflies. But they always tell me like you get nervous and butterflies when you're about to do something great. So I just took that and ran with it.
Wow, man, how big is this thing coming up on the 9th for you, Battleground, being in this situation, being a part of the tournament of first. This is history. Whoever wins this tournament and win this match is going to make history. They're going to make history. How big is this for you? Because literally, you're like still in your infancy stages of this business, and you're in a position like this to where you could win a match like this, and it could literally catapult you in so many different ways. So what's your thought process going into this?
My thought process is give 100% more of what my other competitors are giving. Like they gonna give all they got, but I'm gonna give you more because I need this and I want to pay it off to myself. This is huge for me. Being able, like you said, to make history. I want my name on that belt to be a part of history. Not because she was just a part of it. No, I want my name on that belt. So it means everything to me. Like this, like I told you earlier, is adding fuel to the fire, and I'm about to set the match. And that's just that, because I'm about to blow this whole thing on fire. And that's just how I feel, because I'm hungry. Like, that's what I want. And that's who Jaida Parker is. You could set a stake for me, but I'm gonna get some and past that. Like, you tell me to shoot for the stars, I'm gonna go past the stars, past the moon, all that, because this is what I want and I deserve it.
Are we talking about the nebula?
I'm sorry.
Going all the way. Going all the way.
All the way. All the way.
As far as it goes. Whatever that
I'm
is.
going past it. I'm taking that belt with me. I'm gonna make sure about that. I'm gonna take something with me. I'm getting something out of it.
I want to ask, because I was down there in Orlando. What was that book? A couple weeks ago, and I got to sit in on the NXT taping. And what I was telling Book is, man, the crowd down there is so awesome. The NXT universe. I mean, they are in it. During the breaks, during the things y'all don't see on television. They're a lively bunch. And every time you come out, they're giving you the "Hey, Miss Parker" from from Friday. Everybody remembers it from Friday. Talk to me, one, about the reaction you've gotten from the NXT universe and the love that you felt. And two, I mean, are you embracing this Miss Parker that they've donned you with?
To answer your first one, I love it, but at the same time, like, I'm trying to, they love me, but I love them too, but I need you to hate me, because you wouldn't be loving me when I'm beating you like I'm beating this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they go with who they go to, and I'm just taking it and ride with it. The Miss Parker thing, they actually got it from Mr. Booker himself, because I guess he said it in like my breakout match. Like, they heard of Miss Parker and they took it and ran. And since then, like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, Mr. Booker, if that's wrong, we gonna take it and run with it. I'm with it. Like, why not?
So we blame Book. We blame Book for it.
I mean,
I get the blame for everything.
Nah, it's love though. It's love. I promise. I appreciate it.
Now you knew the reference, right? Like, you got the okay. I'm just making sure.
That's why I did it.
Yeah.
I
feel that.
That's what I'm there for. I want to see all you guys make it to the next level, and there and beyond. This business has been, great for me to be able to see the world, all over the world, and I didn't have to pay for it. All I had to do was just go out and perform. That performance for me was so easy, going out and, I'm giving those fans, what they want and what they thrive, I have. And my thing is, being in this business, something I want you to know, just like you were just talking about your family and you guys going out, and people staring at you and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna get, any lighter. It's gonna get a whole lot worse. It's gonna be piled on. I'm talking about thick. People are gonna want to they're gonna want a piece of Jaida Parker, seriously. And the one thing for me is, I always thought, I say, man, people say, man, that's gotta bother you. I say, when that stop happening, that's when I got a problem. So make sure you take that and endure it, and make sure you love those fans, because they're gonna love you and what you bring to the table for so many years, and it don't stop when you walk away from the ring. They're gonna still be, Jaida Parker fans if you're giving them what they want, just like you just said a second ago. When you go out and people, they want to cheer for you, but your job. You need them to hate you. You need them to boo you. Yeah, that right there. Hold on to that. How important. I talk about the psychology of wrestling. How important is it for you to be the best as far as that goes? Because that right there is your bread and butter. As far as this business going on, I love to work with you sometime on it. But as far as your psychology, for me, I get my psychology from movies, and I know you got a lot of great trainers down in NXT that's helping you out as far as that go. But do you have any outside interests on your own as far as your psychology networking go?
As far as the psychology, I actually picked it up from Norman, my coach at the time. And I loved him. He was like, watch a movie. Just watch how, like a Marvel movie or anything, you'll see how we work is in our everyday life or in our everyday movies. And I'm like, oh, so now I can't watch a movie the same way. Like, I can't really. I'm like, ooh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
a hot spot just happened.
Well, I could use that, but I actually got most of mine from anime. And I was never really like a big anime person. My brother actually put me on it. And now looking back into it, I'm like, ooh, I could use that, or I could use this against this person. And my head just starts going and going and going. So it's really the anime and the movies, even old school movies. Love watching the old school matches, but the creativity and outside the box really comes from the movies and the anime because they don't think like we do. And
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. So I was like, okay, let me flip this real quick and see if this could work in my world. And it does.
You know what? That's a great concept right there. Thinking like that because you can't go back and look at old matches, like from way back in the day, and sometimes it just not may not translate to you.
Right.
Norman Smiley, he's one of the guys that I first got a chance to give a little bit of advice to when he came into WCW, and we're in the gorilla position, which is the goal position,
Yeah.
before you go out the curtain, and I told Norman Smiley he was there. He was like you. He had those butterflies and he was jumping around. I go, Norman. He looks around at me and I go, get your stuff in. I said another word.
Yeah.
Sure.
and he goes, all right, Book. Until to this day, if you ask Norman Smiley, the piece of advice that I gave him his first night was, get your stuff in.
Oh yeah.
We got the super chats, Brad. We got the super chats.
We might. I know we're running against the break, but I do want to ask Jada. You're talking about the psychology and where you get some of your ideas from. But who are some of the influences in ring that you look to? Who are some of the people, men or women, that you look at and go, man, I really, really enjoy seeing what they are able to bring?
For the men's side, Norman put me on Eddie Guerrero. He put me on him early. I actually admire Norman Smiley, his work ethic, his psychology behind it, because he changed the way I look at everything in the ring now. Everything. For the women's side, Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks,
Sure.
I love her, respect her work, everything, even Trinity, Lita. And I just started getting on to China's old matches because she a powerhouse. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. A powerhouse. Even Rhea. I love the way Rhea worked, And I feel like those handful, because I don't want to do too much and like spread my mind thin. I want to hone in on like what I can get from a certain amount of people. You know how they say like take it with a grain of salt. I can only do so much in a certain amount of time. So I want to make sure I get the best results from those people that I'm picking and not have too much, on my mind.
You know what? You just hit the hammer right on the head right there with that one because you just steal everything.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Right.
I stole everything from everybody and made it my own.
Right.
I mean, I had a few things that I came up with on my own, but yeah, I mean, I watched guys like Bret Hart. I wanted to be like Bret Hart in a lot of ways. The way he delivered, the way he executed certain things. The great Muta was a great source for me to be able to think like, just watching his movements, he was so dynamic. When he performed, it was this one wrestler by the name of Pat Tanaka. Man, I stole just about all of his stuff. And so for me, wrestling has always been about that, taking and reinventing and making your own, trying to do the same thing that everyone else is doing, but try to make it a little bit different. Knowing what this thing is about when going out of that curtain, that it's not about you, it's not about your opponent, it's about those fans, and we're just here, we're tools, to deliver this message. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing great things for Jaida Parker. I know we got to take a break. We're going to keep you around for because I know we may have some super chatters that may want to ask you something. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Got Jaida Parker here getting ready for a big matchup, the biggest match of her career, going down in Las Vegas, Nevada, June 9th at the Apex. Oh, yes, it's for the North American Championship, the Women's North American Championship. This is history, man. First time ever. Will she do it? We're going to find out. Brad.
Yeah.
We got the super chats.
We do. We have more of a comment for Jada, and then I have some I wanted to ask her. But this is
chat
from Marcus Craig that says, every time I see Jaida Parker, I think of Bernie Mac on Friday, of course. I'm sure you get like those gifts all the time from the Friday movie. I'm sure. Thanks, Mark, again. Can you talk to me about OTM and just what that's been like for you in your career working with those guys?
It's been amazing, honestly. When I first came in, it was Bronco, Lucian, Scripps. Like those three really helped me adjust and get better in ring when I was with them for that short amount of time, because it was with them, and then Vengeance, they came around the corner, and they really helped calm my nerves like a lot, and they really helped my mindset, because we all have similar mindsets when it comes to our group, because no one really knows what we went through except for us, and we can all understand because we have similarities. So it's like when we put them similarities together, oh, we're untouchable. And I just really love this group because it lets me be me, and I have a voice and a choice, and they have no choice but to listen to Miss Parker when I speak.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we had scripts on the show and just listened to his story, his background. Very, very fascinating.
Love you.
Wouldn't even think that just watching the kid in the ring perform. But now, man, we just want to thank you for more than anything. We know you got a big match. Yeah, before we let you out of here, what's your thoughts for the fans, letting them know as far as what you're thinking going into Battleground on the ninth? Like I say, this is history. This is history for you. So give the fans one last little message before we let you go.
I appreciate y'all, the love and support. And I just want to let y'all know, like, this is for y'all, but it's also for me at the end of the day. Like, I appreciate the love, the hate that comes with it. But at the end of the day, you don't pay my bills. This one's for me. This one's for me and the group. But at the same time, you know, love it or hate it, I'm going to still be me.
Oh yeah, man. That's Miss Parker, y'all. Just want to thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. You know, getting the champagne wishes, caviar trays. You want to give your Twitter handle or anything out there? You know, you want to get anybody want to get in touch with you? You know how to.
Oh yeah. My Twitter handle is Jaida.Parker.WWE. My Instagram is Jaida.Parker@WWE. If y'all want to get in touch with me from there.
You better hit her up. Just don't do it in the DMs. Just but no, man. I want to thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. I'll see you shortly, and much success throughout this life and professional wrestling, this journey. Much love on everything that you do. And like I say, I've touted Miss Parker as being one of the great ones one day. So make sure you live up to that. Everybody I say that's going to be great, they always go out there and live up to it. So I just want to thank you again for stepping inside the Hall of Fame.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Brad. Everybody, appreciate you, Mr. Booker. I'll see you soon, though.
We appreciate you, Jaida.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Holla.
Jaida Parker, man.
Boom. That's Miss Parker, man. That's Jaida Parker. Now, man, she's straight up, man. She's straight. I love her her energy. I love, you know, no, seriously, just the feel that she bring. You could tell is from a real nature. It's nothing fake about it. You could tell when somebody's fake, especially in this business, when it's just about the fame and the fortune and not the grind. Appreciate her, man. I really do.
You want to know something?
What's that?
Hearing her answers to the questions and like the way that she answered everything that you asked or I asked her. You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of you. Like
I swear, man.
In the mentality standpoint, from a mentality.
I mean, I swear, it seemed like we definitely cut from that same cloth.
It was crazy.
The deja vu. The psychology side.
Stealing stuff from movies.
Exactly. You know, that type of stuff, you know. Yeah. So no, she definitely seemed like she got her head on her shoulders as far as what the thing is really truly about, because so many people get in the business and it could be looked at as fun, like it's a game, you know what I mean? And because it is fun. But if you do not look at this business as a business, you're gonna lose at the end of the day. You're definitely not gonna make it through this journey if you're thinking about that. If you think about leaving the house and going have fun, you're thinking the wrong thing. If you ain't leaving the house with your hard hat on and your boots, you know, strapped up real tight, you got a problem. You really do. So hopefully, Jaida Parker, you know, just go through this thing just like she's going through it right now with blinders on, literally tunnel vision, thinking about one thing, the end game, the end goal, and that's becoming great, becoming a legend, becoming a Hall of Famer.
Well, you know what? She's well on her way in her NXT career. We'll see what happens at Battleground in a couple weeks in Las Vegas. But let's get to our Super Chats before we wrap up for the day.
Super Chat.
I'm sure you're going to hit the wand, dog. Angry Duckling Institution says, hey, Book, hey, Brad, hope your week is going well. I hope WWE keeps Orton babyface. I know everyone loves to play the heel, but I find Randy and his voices to be highly inspirational. I think Randy's kind of in his bag right now as a baby.
I tell you, man, it's different seeing Randy, play the baby face. I saw him just last week. He did something outside the ring, bang, hit the guy with something, and then he raised his hands. The crowd popped, and I was like, it's just funny seeing Randy playing to the crowd, But it was cool. It was cool, So me personally, I'm not against it. Being able to, switch roles and still be successful. Is something that Randy's is pretty good at, seems like.
This next one comes from John JID
Super chat
999. WWE is doing everything right, showing everyone how to kill it. King of the Ring felt big and important. I agree with that. This AEW show felt unnecessary and dangerous. Y'all are awesome. He's referring to the Double or Nothing show. Unnecessary, I don't agree with, but dangerous, I do agree with. You know what I learned watching the Double or Nothing show? Because they set Jack Perry on fire. They, they hung Darby Allin upside down and from the ring and beat the hell out of him. Adam Copeland jumped from the top of a barbed wire steel cage match through a table onto Malachi Black. And I learned I just don't like that stuff. Like watching it, I find no enjoyment. And it's not because it's AEW. If WWE did, I'd be saying the same thing. I don't enjoy that kind of. I don't find the wrestling in that. Now I know people are going to disagree with me on it, but I feel like it's. Look, I like a little hardcore, right? Chair shot, table spot, nice and safe. If you want to do a stunt, as long as it's rehearsed and you can do it 100 out of 100 times and no one's ever going to get hurt, do it, right? But some of these things, they just feel unnecessarily dangerous. If I want to use John's words in combination with one another, and I don't look at it as the art form that is pro wrestling. I don't know. You know how like when you see a great comic who doesn't use any profanity and he like kills it, and then you see somebody who like drops the F word like every other word. It's like, hey, is he still funny? Sure, yeah, he's still funny. But it feels like it's like you need a little extra to get the laugh when the other guy just does it based on technique and the storytelling ability. And that's how I see the difference sometimes when you do things like they did last night. It's not for me.
I didn't watch it, but I've been hearing about it. It's been all over the internet as far as, some of the stunts, some of the antics they pulled off on AEW. And the thing is, it's a niche for it. It's a niche. You got your fans out there that like that stuff. A lot of fans, some fans even love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, is it going to be the majority? No. I mean, me personally, am I going to be wanting my kids to watch it? Probably not. And for me, I don't want to sit here and say anything negative, about what those guys are doing over there. Other than, like you said, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, and I feel like somebody in AEW is going to get hurt. And the thing is, people can say, well, they can get hurt in WWE as well. Yeah, they can. But I just feel like pushing the envelope. For what reason? I really don't know. I think those guys, they got a product that they can really push in a direction to where, people will watch it no matter if they did that kind of stuff or not. You know what I mean? But somebody, obviously, in the boardroom, perhaps, to say, hey, we need to do this. Otherwise, I don't think they would be doing it. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Or someone's in the boardroom saying, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I'll clear it. I'll okay anything. You know what I mean? As long as you want to do it. And that's one of those things to where with wrestlers, you say, hey, I'm not going to tell you to jump off that, but if you want to jump off it, go ahead. It's one of those type of. No. Right. And the thing is, it takes the liability out of my head as well. You know what I mean? Because that's something you wanted to do. I didn't ask you to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It could be a lot of these guys just living out their dreams, going out there, doing stunts that they've been wanting to do for many, many years. I don't know.
And I'm sure we'll talk more Double or Nothing on the Wednesday show because we're running short on time. But I will say when you have those stunts, it overshadows actually some great wrestling that was on the show.
Was there some great wrestling on the show?
There was great wrestling on the show. I think Mercedes and Willow knocked it out of the park. I think there was actually a really good, and I normally am not huge on 6-man tag matches, but there was a great 6-man tag on the show. Will Ospreay showed up and showed out. Even Swerve and Christian did a great job, you know. But when you have fire and barbed wire and blood and
Well, let me
tables
tell
and
you right now.
cages, that's
Tell you
what
right
people
now,
think
I
about.
didn't hear about any of those great
Exactly.
matches on the.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying though. Like that overshadows it all.
I get it. I'm just messing with you.
But okay, here we go. Let's see. This is from M Music. We'll get through these super chats before we have to wrap for the day. M Music, Brad is always easy to find. Actually, yeah, we ran into each other in Philadelphia. Gents, do the Mavs close it out? Go back to the old Manscaped promo. It does work. Happy New Year to your balls. That's funny. They're 1 win away at the time we're doing this. Mavs look like Dallas looks like they're going to get to the finals, man.
And I tell you, man, them boys look strong. They look strong.
Look great.
Kyrie, give it up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kyrie's looking like Kyrie did back in whenever that was, 2017 or whenever that finals run that the Cavs had. He's playing. He's balling. He's balling. Luka's doing his job as well. So, I'd like to see the Mavericks back in the finals. You know, they had a great run back with Dirk in the mid-2010s.
It looked like they have. So now I think they're gonna get. I think they're gonna get back there.
Oh, I think they're gonna get it. I think they're gonna go all the way.
No team has come back from 3 down.
Mm-hmm. Except for yeah. In the Western Conference Finals,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, and this is our last one here for the day. Callie Toenail, you know I'm grinning ear to ear. Nia deserves it all. I've been pulling for her forever. And shout out to Game Time. I got those Billie Eilish front row tickets for my grandson's graduation. Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate you, Callie, for supporting the Hall of Fame and the Game Time.
Always appreciate you, Callie.
But Nia getting it, man. Callie's been consistent with Nia. I mean, he's been.
No, she deserves it. She deserves it. I mean, Callie's right. Callie's been right. You know, one thing about Callie, he's normally right most of the time. So you know what? Callie could be booking some of these shows.
He could be.
I'm serious. I mean, yeah. Maybe we need to put a word in for him.
You know what? Maybe we should. You know, Callie's the man.
Him and O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah, and that add them to your writing team. Oh wait, you know what? We just got one coming under the wire here. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. Legend and BG. First off, thank you for your contribution to landing Jacob Fatu as you said you would. Well, I don't think there's anything official with Jacob Fatu, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Second, did you ever recover your WCW TV title belt? Will you ever show your belts off?
Never did. Never recovered the TV title. Jacob Fatu. A lot of talk about Jacob right now. Everybody talking about Jacob, you know, but it's nothing been official. So I'm not going to say anything about Jacob just yet either because I don't want nothing to happen just in case it's something in the works. But nah, man, I think that's our last super chat.
It is
for today. But I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne, wishes, caviar, dreams, like always. What a great show, man! What a great show having Jaida Parker. What a great guest, guys. Make sure you support Jaida Parker. Make sure you jump on the Twitter, you know what I mean? Make sure you jump on the Instagram. Make sure the followers go up, man, because you're looking at a future star in the making, future Hall of Famer in the making. And I said that right here inside the Hall of Fame. Brad, I want to thank you for all the heavy lifting. And for right now, guys, I ain't got nothing else but peace. We love you. We out.
John brings his skewed sense of humor. Jeff brings tips to cut strokes off your next round. Together, it's those weekend golf guys.
They'll pay a lot of money to PXG and Titleist and Callaway and on and on and on, right? How many yards do you think you're going to pick up with that extra driver? I think I can get an extra 5 to 10. What if I give you 15 to 20? You pay me more.
Jeff Smith teaches on a sliding scale.
Those Weekend Golf Guys, the podcast, part of the Believe Network. Just search BLEAV on YouTube or wherever you listen.